you today?
I'm okay.
All right, I'm going to do a slight introduction and then we can get started on, I think we're doing vaccinations and other stuff, and I just wanted to hear your side on everything we're starting here.
Okay.
All right, guys, Cory, coming here live from Anarchy Nations. I got a guest speaker, Angela, today, and we're going to talk about what's going on with the COVID scene.
At first, my entitlement issues, like with the mask, I didn't want to wear one because I have claustrophobia. And so, when I was donating plasma in the beginning, and I had the one over my face, the clear one. And while I was laying there, when they wait to come and get the needle out of your arm,
Yeah.
I saw out of the corner of my eye that little thing that happens when you have plastic feet over your face, and I felt trapped in there. There's a little glare that you get when you have those over your face, and I felt trapped with the needle in my arm, and I haven't gone back to donate plasma since then. I guess I tried recently, but because I got married, all the paperwork is just so stupid that I gave up. They won't take my ID and my social security card, even though it says my information, because they have all my old information. It's just stupid. But so I don't know if I support the masks or not. I do, however, know when I'm coughing really, really bad, people freak out, and I just put a mask on, because I've been assaulted on the city buses because people think I have COVID. I've had the vaccination. I've been assaulted because people think I'm going to kill them from having the vaccine. So it's like you never know the right answer. You just got to know in your heart what you're doing is right and go from there.
Me, myself, I don't wear a mask. I don't like breathing warm air. So like when I sleep, I uncover my head. I don't like the mask, and I don't like reform, and I don't like to do anything somebody tells me to do. So on all that, I would suggest you don't. But then it's kind of hard to touch on the other stuff, like you said, where people are assaulting you. One of the biggest fights I fight every day is trying to make people understand that it doesn't matter what your opinion of other people is. It's everybody's right to do as they feel fit for them. And I guess that's one of the anarchist things, and that's why I am on this group, is because what's right for me may not be right for you, and I shouldn't expect it to be.
Right, and so it's kind of like I work in medical, so it's a little bit, and I barely work in medical. I work in behavioral health. So some people don't consider that medical, but I'm dealing with people that are coming down off of drugs, and I have my own issues with that. I have a hard time watching people high on drugs, but I have to process that, and so I do the best I can. I offer places to go to get fentanyl testing, and I have Narcan with me, and I know how to use it.
The other day, because they asked me if they thought we should all start carrying Narcan, and I said, well, with all due respect, everybody that is in the drug world or an addiction, they have to have some type of accountability. And if we all carry Narcan to save them all the time, where is that accountability? If they know every time they OD or every time they have a bad trip that a doctor or somebody else is going to save them. So I can't say I very well carry them same values. I did, however, have a friend that is fentanyl hooked, and I tried very hard a few weeks ago to get him in and out of the trap houses and just get him on a different path, and he ended up refusing, and I haven't talked to him since because he got mad at me. So I do definitely know there is an epidemic, but I don't know yet how I just feel about how we should fix it.
I was hit by a truck 5 years ago, and they gave me fentanyl as a bracer at the hospital for between morphine and oxy.
Correct.
Now, I almost didn't take it because of all the horror stories I've heard about the street stuff. But I decided I'm in the hospital, they'll watch me. I have memories of things, conversations with my sister that I never had. Now, that's the only thing I remember. I don't know what else happened in there. I'm lucky that I got out of those situations thanks to my mother, who I who knew what was going on. She could tell by listening on the phone how I was being treated. But, you know, I don't like drugs. I'm a recovering alcoholic. Drugs didn't do really anything for me. So I never really liked them. But when you're hit by a car and you almost die, they're going to give you something. I remember waking up with 2 stitches in my hands trying to chew them off because I would have used super glue. But the morphine or the fentanyl is I'm scared of even the hospital grade, let alone the stuff on the streets.
You should be. I went out with my friend the other day, like I told you, and I got enough fentanyl in me that I had withdrawals for a week. You should be scared.
Yeah.
Wait
I
until
mean,
you're
I
sitting
don't even.
on the couch doing head nods because a doctor gave you a prescription and told you it was just fine, and then you get out of the hospital and 2 days later you're sitting on the couch or in your car and you start having head nods and you go and you kill a family or some crazy shit and you don't remember it, and it's all good and gloriful for the hospital because they don't care. No, I think the government and the hospitals are helping contribute to this epidemic very much so.
That's what I struggle with working in the field. I'm like, what am I? I mean, I care about these people. I don't want them to, but there's so many of the people that just get lost in their job, and it's just sad to watch. I mean, I started working in this field because it saved my life. Just to find out all I was a number.
Well, and I don't know how to dabble on that. Like I said, I'm trying very hard to get my words out there and all my friends and get a, how can I say this properly, a committee or a council together so I can take this to a whole nother step and I can talk to this on a legal level because I truly believe that the state is behind most of it. If we could get rid of the governments in the state and get back to when doctors did what doctors do because they enjoyed doing it and they were there to help people, and it wasn't just because now I've went to college for 5 years and I got all this debt, so if I don't go to work and I don't get this stuff paid off, I'm going to sink. And it's just become way too complicated for the medical career, I think, in my opinion. Because I see a lot of people that by the time they spend so many years in college, they have to go to work. And if they go to work anywhere but in their field, all that college was wasted.
Right.
So I really think, I don't know how to come onto that problem yet, but I would love, anytime you're got ideas, to keep getting me on it. That's something, I haven't been to a doctor in almost 9-10 years, maybe even more than that. So I stay away from all the medical
Well, you know,
field.
I can't even afford health insurance. And the company I work for doesn't give us health insurance. So I don't even see a doctor.
Hard to trust them.
Well, and then it's really difficult because I try not to go to a doctor with my own opinion. But then I was treated so poorly in nursing facilities that I just learned how to walk on my own. And then when I finally got pain management to come to my home, they said I was fine. And then when I got the x-ray, because I had been walking around, the x-ray technician and the doctor were upset that I was walking because they said I shouldn't be walking. I'm like, I'm not going to sit around if I know how to walk, even if it hurts. I don't want to take anything because I'm sedated by the time the pain goes away. So I'm just becoming not comfortable with the pain.
Well, that's what I mean. So, and I remember back in the day, you went to a doctor when you were necessary, or you went to a dentist when it was necessary, but they've turned it into such a consumer thing where you have to look pretty, you have to be perfect health, everything has to be perfect, they have to see me every 2 months. I don't know. I just think it's all become capitalist crap. Everybody is so tied in about the dollar than they are really caring about the patient. It's been a long time that I actually walked into a doctor's office and somebody come to me and said, "Oh my God, can we help you? You just look uncomfortable. Tell me what's wrong with you. Tell me how you're feeling." And that's, how else are you going to find out what's wrong with somebody if you don't actually ask them questions and spend a few minutes with them?
One doctor, I think, ever I've experienced that. The doctor actually went overtime with patients. And he saw patients for over an hour and would make the other patients late because he would make sure they're okay. One, I've had medical since I was a child. I actually got survivor's benefits when I was younger. So I was a product of the system to work for it.
like I said, I've never been in the medical system. I have every job I've ever been in. I have been one of the first responders, so I have been medically trained how to do CPR if I need to, or run a fire extinguisher, or to wrap up a hand that needs to go to the ER or something like that. What are your feelings on if kids should be able to get vaccines before they go to school, or do you think we should have to get vaccines?
I think there should be a clause if parents really don't want their children to have them. And I do believe, if you want the vaccine, you should be allowed to get it. Just like if you don't. I don't believe that it's some sort of mark of the beast or something. I'm not exactly a Christian. I don't.
This cough is self-induced, ma'am.
Sorry.
You're fine. You're fine. You're fine.
No, I have really strong, really bad allergies, and that's why I just got used to the cough used to the masks because I don't want to deal with it. I would rather wear a mask and have someone shut up than have to punch them in the face because they assault me.
And my thing on that, okay, like you said, you're wearing the mask for allergy protection, okay? I've done some painting and remodeling, and I was almost going to be abatement trained. That's where you move asbestos.
That's my protection. It's just so people will shut up.
You get my point. But anyways, it's so you can remove asbestos and lead-based paint and other stuff. And all of the masks, they tell you that they will stop so much of it, but none of them stop everything. So to me, the idea of wearing a mask, especially when I got such a beautiful beard, is impossible because it's not going to protect me. Now, if you feel the need to wear it, like I said, everybody has their own right. If you think it helps your allergies, you wear it.
No, it doesn't. It makes it worse, actually. I have to constantly change it because I'm always blowing my nose and sneezing. I would rather not deal with the confrontation of people. I mean, I've had someone on a bus ask me if I have a mask when they don't even have one on. And I'm like, why do you want one? So it's like, I don't like, I get very, I don't like having to defend myself. I don't like to fight, but I can.
I don't know. I preach and I tell everybody I'm a pacifist these days, and I really try to be the sweetheart. But if you overpush my bounds, I'm a monster. Like I am a dog.
Right.
I help Rick Pitbull, and they all look at me like I'm the alpha. In terror or anger, all these dogs come, and they all come very equipped and ready. So I don't consider myself part of the human race no more. I'm even called by religious people, I'm notified as a nihilist.